Good morning, everyone. It is a pleasure to be with you, from my Economy in Finance channel. I hope you are feeling very well and ready to acquire new knowledge in this very important field. Today we will talk about the life of Cornelius Vanderbilt. Start. Cornelius Vanderbilt was a prominent 19th century American businessman and business magnate. Born on May 27, 1794 in Staten Island, New York, Vanderbilt became one of the most influential figures in the development of the transportation and steam navigation industries, and railroads in the United States. Cornelius Vanderbilt's childhood was modest and he grew up in a rural setting, in the bosom of a working-class family. His parents, Cornelius Vanderbilt and Phoebe Hand, were farmers and had modest economic means. From an early age he showed interest in commerce and business. It is said that at the age of 11 he was already interested in the business of boats, and after the death of one of his 8 brothers when Cornelius was that age, he left school to work together with his father. He began his career working as a ferry driver in New York, but quickly became involved in the steamboating industry. Although he did not receive an extensive formal education, Vanderbilt proved to be self-taught and gained practical knowledge through his on-the-job experience. He learned about navigation, transportation and commerce, firsthand, which laid the foundation for his future career in the transportation industry. It is said that Vanderbilt was also a tenacious and competitive child. According to the stories, in his youth he participated in horse races, where he won bets and demonstrated his determination and ability to take calculated risks. As he grew older, Vanderbilt developed an entrepreneurial mindset and sought opportunities to expand his horizons. He took advantage of the opportunities that presented themselves and demonstrated remarkable skills in trade and investment. These characteristics led him to become one of the most successful entrepreneurs of his time. Through his ability to trade and his aggressive approach to business, Vanderbilt managed to expand his fleet of ships and became one of the leading entrepreneurs in shipping. When he was 16, Vanderbilt bought his first sailing boat for $100. One of the highlights of Vanderbilt's career was her participation in the American Civil War. In 1812 he was contracted by the government to supply sailboats for military use, and to transport troops and supplies. This partnership allowed him to accumulate a large fortune and further consolidate his power in the transportation industry. When he sees that the sailing industry is threatened by steamships, he begins to work as an operator of a steamboat, of an entrepreneur named Thomas Gibbons, and as an operator of this begins to compete with the monopoly that Robert Fulton and Robert Livingston had, improving prices. These brothers sue him, and the Supreme Court ends the Fulton-Livingston monopoly. In 1829 Vanderbilt became independent to provide steamboat services on the Hudson River, between Manhattan and Albany, New York. 11 years later it already had 100 ships. In the 1860s, Vanderbilt turned his attention to the railroad industry, which at the time was experiencing rapid growth in the United States. It began to acquire and consolidate railroad companies, applying aggressive strategies of competition and cost reduction. Acquired the New York and Harlem Railroad in 1862–63, the Hudson River Railroad in 1864, and the New York Central Railroad in 1867. In 1869, construction began on the Grand Central Station at 42nd Street Park Avenue in Manhattan. It was completed in 1871. For this, it formalizes a partnership with the New York and New Haven Railroads, with the trains it owns. This station is still operational. As his wealth and power grew, Vanderbilt became one of the richest men of his time. However, he was also criticized for his aggressive business tactics and unscrupulous pursuit of profit. Despite this, Vanderbilt left a lasting legacy in the world of business and transportation. Throughout his life, Vanderbilt married twice and had a total of 13 children. Cornelius Vanderbilt died on January 4, 1877 at his residence in Manhattan, New York. Throughout his career, he left an indelible mark on U.S. history, helping to shape the economic landscape and contributing to the development of the country's rail and transportation system. At his death at age 82, Vanderbilt's fortune was estimated at more than $100 million. During his lifetime, he made several philanthropic donations and, at the time of his death, distributed his inheritance among his children and grandchildren. Below are some of his donations and how his estate was distributed. Vanderbilt University. One of Vanderbilt's most significant gifts was the creation of Vanderbilt University in Nashville, Tennessee. In 1873, he donated $1 million to establish the university, with the aim of promoting education and the advancement of society. Vanderbilt Clinic. Vanderbilt also donated funds for the construction of a hospital in New York, which later became the Vanderbilt Clinic. This institution provided medical care to those who could not afford it and focused on research and the advancement of medicine. Other donations. Vanderbilt made several donations to charities during her lifetime. These donations included support for churches, charities and community projects, such as $50,000 to the Church of Strangers in New York City. His son William Vanderbilt received $95 million, then gave $500,000 to each of his daughters, who numbered 8. His wife received $500,000, his residence in New York and 2,000 shares of the New York Central Railroad. If you liked this video, be sure to subscribe to our channel and activate the notification bell, liking, and sharing with friends and family, so they can benefit from our financial information and our financial tips. Have a great day. And see you in the next video.